Top 10 Thursdays, and today I'm ranking my favourite of all time top 10 belts. This is mainly focused on looks, but it could be down to what they meant to me and who won it. Like, if that's my favourite, that could mean something. So, starting at number 10. So, first on the list, starting at number 10, the least of my favourite of the 10, if you know what I mean, is the current World Heavyweight Championship. The reason I like this is because it basically brought the world title back. I mean, the world title is one of my favourites. The old world title. To start with, I was looking forward to the old world title coming back, and then they unveiled this. I was like, that's not the same, although it's kind of the same. It's just got that big black W in the middle with the black circle around it. Um, I got used to it, and it's made its way back up. And I think Seth Rollins being my current favourite has made me like that belt a lot. So yeah, there's not much more to say about it. It's not been around for too long. So let's go on to my number 9. Number 9, and you probably didn't expect this, is the Women's Divas title. Just the Divas, not Women's. That replaced the Women's, and that's the main reason it's on this list because I hate that Women's title. It's ugly and it didn't suit people. I mean, this title looks good on people. Was it Layla? Was that her name? And AJ Lee and Nikki Bella. This just looks a lot better than that women's title. And I feel like it maybe helped that women's division finally mean something. Like, because it's gone kind of dead after the Trish and Lita and all that. And yeah, it's mainly on the list because it replaced that horrible women's title, and this actually looks quite nice. I like that pink fairy thing, or is it red, pink, and a silver on a silver background. It looks fairly decent, and it's one of two women's titles I got on here. So yeah, I like it, and it's my number 9. Let's move on to number 8. So my number 8, a lot of people might not know what this one is because it's quite an old one, but it's from when I was a little baby, not baby, a little tiny boy, and it was held by the Ultimate Warrior, and he carried it into the WrestleMania match with Hulk Hogan, one of my favourite matches of all time as a little kid. Uh, Still is one of my favourite of all time. Definitely one of my memorable ones, and the reason I like this title is because it had a yellow background. I don't think there's ever been another title that's ever had a yellow background. Maybe on other shows, NXT I don't watch. Just get that out there. So I'll never make NXT content. I thought about putting belts on here because I like the purple belt, but not doing them. Sorry, because I don't watch it. There's no point in me doing content I don't watch. So I'd strictly stick to WWE. Anyway, back to that title. Looks like pretty much any other Intercontinental title, but it's just got a yellow background on a yellow. Yeah, and it's held by Ultimate Warrior, who can argue with that? He was great. I wish you could have seen him if you're not as old as me. Um, so yeah, that's my number 7. Pretty much, sorry, 8, just because of them reasons, really. Uh, I watched, got to watch that. Uh, it was the first time I saw two belts like in the same ring. I think, apart from tag titles. And no, Hulk Hogan versus Ultimate Warrior doesn't get bigger than that. And I was watching it with my brother at the time. We watched uh, wrestling together, so it started. We still watch it together today when I can see him. Um, so yeah, it means a lot to me, that title. And yeah, number 7. So the second of the women's titles and my last ones on these list, it is the women's tag team titles. Yeah, I know, I didn't expect that, but I love the look of these, like the silver and the gold mixed together, like silver gold, and it's nice and round. I like a round title most of the time. There's been some awful ones, but I prefer them to squarey titles. Yeah, and just the points out in the four corners. I think it's a really nice title, and whenever they're on someone's shoulder, it looks really nice. They've had big champions all the way through, as far as I can remember. Started with Bailey and Sasha, and that's a good way to start any title, that, isn't it? So, yeah, really nice. Again, they haven't been around too long, so not a lot to say, but I like the look of them pretty much. So, title number 6. I probably wouldn't have chose this until I saw it on Kevin Owens. So this was around until 2002, I think it was. I think that's on Stone Cold quite a bit. The Winged Eagle, by the way, the Winged Eagle. I like the eagle at the top. And to be honest, I like a title that has a world on it, if it's meant to be a world title. Because it shows, oh, I'm the best in the world, sort of thing. And I think this might have been the first one with a world on it, like Earth, sort of thing. And this has a long history as far as I remember. But yeah, when I saw it on Kevin Owens and he brought that back to face Cody, even though I hate it when people hold championship when they're not a champion, like The Rock, yeah, I think it looked really nice, and I was surprised I never thought I liked it before. So yeah, that's my number 6. Number 5, halfway through. So number 5, probably got quite a bit to say about this one, thank God. It is the current WWE title. I've shocked myself that this is on the list because I hated the Universal title for it. It's ugly as hell. And the other one they put with it to make these unified was it the WWE title. Yeah, when Roman Reigns got this title to start with by unifying the two, I thought this is going to be hideous. It's exactly the same, but it's yellow. And then very soon after, I was like, I'm happy with this. I'm just so glad it's not them awful ones before it. So that's probably the main reason. And it kind of looks goldy, like if you want your championship to look gold, because it's, championship colour. It's probably more yellow than gold, but I can pretend. I don't really like the big W in the middle. I think they could do something better, but over the years I've got really to start liking it a bit more. And that maybe because it feels so big right now with Cody and Roman Reigns all fighting over it. Every champion that has feels really big or hard to beat. And that's why I love that Roman Reigns was a champion for so long, because it helps the championship feel big, not just the character. So, yeah, I've got to really like this now, and I'm glad we have that right now in WWE. And there's a lot I like right now in WWE, like the World Championship is on my top 10, and this is of all time, so there's a lot of belts of all time. So the fact that 2 are on it already is pretty good. Moving on to number 4. So my number 4 is the Intercontinental title from 2011. think it changed over to I think it changed over in 2011 to the new one, but this one stopped in 2011. I think you know which one I mean. It's this one. Um, as I said in the previous one, I like one with a world on it, and this is a huge world. So yeah, I like this title. I think even though it is in circulation for quite a while, I didn't get bored of it. I was quite gutted when that changed, to be honest. Um, that probably I shouldn't say that, but and my favourite at the time was Edge, and he held this quite a few times, and I'll never forget when he beat Test for this and the European, I think it was. Um, that made me like the title even more. Maybe that's a bit biased because Edge won it, and he was my favourite, and that made me fall in love with this title. But yeah, I still even today like the look of this, and I wouldn't be upset if that came back, even though I still like today's Intercontinental Championship, even though it's not made the list, by the way. That could have probably been number 11. Um, but yeah, I still like today's, uh, but I really like this one. Moving on to number 4, 3. Can't remember what we were on. Okay, so we are on to number 3. Sorry about that. And on the podium in the 3rd spot. Now, this one was my number 1 for years and years and years when that first came out, but things have surpassed that now. And when I look at it now, I wonder why it was, but it's mainly because the fact I was so obsessed with. My God, this was the first time I knew. Oh, it's this one, by the way. Sorry, the undisputed uh, championship. from 2002. Uh, yeah, I was so obsessed with, wow, the two big titles merged together, even though it probably happened before that, and I think it definitely did many times. This was the first time I uh, knew about it or realised that it happened. Definitely happened before. I think Chris Jericho won this. No, he won the two belts together, which also amazed me. But when they merged them together to make one big belt, I thought this was the biggest belt in the whole world to ever be seen. Um, and yeah, for that reason, because that's the first time that happened, and because I was so wild by it, that stuck with me. That my God, that's amazing. That's brilliant, and I do quite like the look of this. Like, not saying I don't like the look of it. I do, and I really did at the time. But now I'm thinking it's more because of what it means. um, there's much better looking belts out there now. Now I look back, but yeah, so that takes the third spot, and it got knocked off by number one and number two. So let's see what my number two is. So my number two spot, and I think this is my brother's number one spot. So I'm sure I'll have to ask him, but yeah, my number two spot is the World Heavyweight Championship from 2002 to 2013. Now, this thing is a beauty in it. Like, it's full gold. Like I said earlier, I love a gold title. It represents championship. It's shiny. It's big. Not as big as uh, the Crown Jewel Championship. That's just ridiculous and horrible. This is the right size. You know, it's perfect. It's a lovely shape, unlike any other. And it means a big deal. Like, it's kind of the second biggest in the company, if you know what I mean. Um, yeah, it's just a beautiful title. And every time someone held it, like this is a Triple H title to me. Um, like Triple H is a big name in it, you know. It just thinks makes you think big names and Batista, Edge, Undertaker, Kane, like the ones that were your favourites but weren't toppity top could win this, and it made you feel good. It made you feel like your person could get to the top one day if they win this belt. I'm making other excuses for it, but I mainly just love the look of this. And I think when it was my brother's top, I was like, oh, that's a really good one. I should have had that. But we're quite competitive. We can't nick each other's favourites. So, yeah, this is my number two. And here's my number one. Top spot, number one favourite belt of all time has really shocked me. But when I'm looking into it and I've looked at everyone who wears it, I'm like, man, that looks good on every person who holds it. Like the World Championship does as well, but Rey Mysterio looked a bit big on him. But this championship, everyone that's held it has been big names like CM Punk, John Cena, all of the Shield members back then. Trying to think, Big Show, Dolph Ziggler, The Miz, a lot of names. So this was from 2011 to 2019. Can you guess what it is? The Intercontinental Championship, the white one. It looks pretty much like the yellow one from earlier, Ultimate Warrior held, but this has WWE logo at the top. Yeah, and it's got the world like and I like it when Viking curves around that world. Um, yeah, I don't. I like who's held it. What can I say about this? Like, why is this bit better than the World Championship? I just think it looks so nice on anyone that holds it. Why, like, because I think a white background or a white strap for the belt looks the nicest. That's why I think all the women's of today's look really nice. I suppose more of them aren't on this list. Maybe because they're all new and they don't mean as much yet. But this was on the men's, and a lot of big names have held this white title, and it made me feel like the Intercontinental of the past, where it felt almost as big as the main big one, the Intercontinental back then, like Diesel held it and Bret Hart. It just made me feel like this was big again. And man, I'm not doing this much justice, but I put that my number one, and I love the look of it. It definitely is a lot nicer looking than that undisputed title. So there is my list, my top 10 I'd love to hear other people's. Very interesting. See if anyone has the same top as mine, because I doubt anyone else would put this as their top. But I bet that World Championship does well for everyone. Anyway, thanks for watching. Stay easy later.